Alright, so just to finish up task 14, we're going to take our skin scraping slide that we prepared, put it on our microscope, and just see if we find anything. Generally, we're looking for types of abnormal cells or any bacteria, yeast, any parasites such as scabies or demodex or anything that might be causing this friend to have some itching and hair loss. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take my slide that I've prepared with my cover slip, and I'm just going to put it onto the stage of my microscope. We're going to turn on the light, and the way I look at my slides is I start at the bottom left corner. I'll go from left to right, I'll go up a little bit, I'll go right to left, go up a little bit, left to right, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and just adjust the light a little bit, make it a little dimmer, and then I'm just going to use my left knob over here just to fine tune it a little bit, just so I have a better view. And again, I'm starting on my 4x objective lens. We're going to take a peek on the 4x objective lens over the entire course of the cover slip and just see if I find anything, and then we'll repeat the same process and look under the 10x objective lens. So I'm going to start from going from left to right. And so far I'm just seeing some epithelial cells, some hair follicles. That's the end of the cover slip, so we're going to go up and then we're going to go from right to left. A couple tiny air bubbles. Some more little hair follicles. We're at the end, so we're going to go up, and then we're going to go from left to right. A couple red blood cells, which will be expected because we did get a little bit of capillary blood when we were doing our scraping. A little bit of debris. So far I'm not seeing any parasites. We're going to go up, and we're going to go from right to left. Fine tune it a little bit. And just some more epithelial cells. Alright, that's the end of the slide, so we're going to go up. And then this is going to be the last section from left to right. I don't see anything concerning, so I'm going to go to the beginning. Excuse me. I'm going to go to the beginning of my slide again, which is going to be the bottom left-hand corner of my cover slip. And now we're just going to switch over to the 10x objective lens and look over the entire slide again on the 10x power lens, just to see if I see anything in addition to just some hair follicles and some epithelial cells. Okay, so again, we're in the bottom left. We're going to go from left to right under the 10x objective lens. Just a little bit of debris, some hair follicles. That's the end of the cover slip, so we're just going to go up, and then we're going to go from right to left. A little air bubble. Just some more hair follicles and epithelial cells. Some red blood cells, which again is normal because we did get capillary blood when we were doing our skin scraping. That's the end of the slide, so we're going to go up, and we're going to go from left to right. And again, it's just some hair follicles, a couple little air bubbles. And just normal epithelial cells. And then my cover slip, so we're going to go up and we're going to go from right to left. Again, not seeing too much of anything other than just some normal skin cells, couple red blood cells. We're going to go up, and then we're going to go from left to right, and this is going to be the last section of my cover slip under the 10 times power objective lens. Again, I'm fine-tuning along the way as we're going, and I'm still not seeing anything too concerning, and then that is the end of my slip, or cover slip should I say. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to turn off the light. I'm just going to take my slide and we're going to toss it into the sharps container. We're going to take my microscope and just push it back. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of take the camera and move it over to where my microscope was to get in an angle to get a view of the computer. Because now we're just going to enter the information into the patient's record. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see the computer. Alright. So I already preemptively loaded up Gizmo's chart. So it's Gizmo. We are a 2-year-old black pug, male neutered. So we're just going to go ahead over here to the message center, which pulls up a different screen, and then we're going to go to the current client. We're going to hit over here, which is add item. We're going to go under patients and select Gizmo, hit message, and I want to direct it to the appropriate doctor, and I'll say that it's open. This way she knows to read it. I'm going to put today's date, the time, and then I'm just going to say, I just finished performing a skin scraping on Gizmo. I did not see any parasites or abnormal cells, so I am going to call his skin scraping negative. Just put my initials, TF. We're going to hit apply. And then once I hit OK, you should see a new line right here that got added in, which is the sentence that I just put in saying that it is a negative skin scraping. Alright, so we're just going to zoom back out. So again, typically on skin scrapings, what I usually am looking for when we do it in-house in my hospital is if there's any bacteria, any yeast, if we see any parasites like Demodex or scabies, any abnormal cells. Sometimes you can see some cancer cells on a skin scraping. But again, I did not see any of those. The only thing I saw on the skin scraping were some red blood cells, some hair follicles, and just some regular epithelial cells. So again, I called Gizmo's skin scraping negative, which is noted in the computer right here. Alright, so that is how you complete task 14, which is just doing a skin scraping.